Opposition CCC leader Nelson Chamisa yesterday said he has tried to reach out to President Emmerson Mnangagwa seeking his intervention over top party executive Jobs Sikala's continued detention but has been ignored. Sikala, the CCC legislator for Zungeza West, has been languishing in remand prison since June last year in connection with the violence that occurred in Nyatsim, Chitungwiza at the funeral of slain activist Morablessing Ali. Sikala's co-accused, including fellow MP Godfrey Sithole, were granted bail in November. "I want to tell the nation that I have made efforts to write severally to Mr. Mnangagwa to deal with this Sikala issue. It is embarrassing us internationally and nationally and he has chosen not to respond," Chamisa told Newsday yesterday. "I wrote to him in private conversations indicating to him what the issues are, but he has ignored me. I have done my input, but I will continue to do more to bring the issue on the table. The human rights situation in the country has worsened. Look at the arrest of our brother Jobs Sikala. It is almost a year in prison without bail. That tells you that the nation is rotten. He committed no offense. Sikala is innocent, but they have already judged him guilty. The state has been denying Sikala bail, saying he was an unrepentant repeat offender despite having no criminal convictions." Government spokespersons have previously said that Mnangagwa will not intervene in Sikala's arrest, claiming separation of powers between the judiciary and the executive. Mnangagwa's spokesperson George Shiramba was not picking calls when Newsday tried to contact him for comment. Chief Secretary to the Office of the President and Cabinet Mishek Sabanda was also not picking calls. Information Secretary Ndavanengi Mangana accused Chamisa of being illogical. Naturally, Mr. Chamisa is politicking. His accusations appear quite thought-disordered as there is no logic or coherence, he said. I can't speak for ZANU-PF as a party as it has its own spokespersons. But what I can say is that our government only spends money as guided by the parliamentary vote as transparently detailed in the Blue Book and scrutinized by the said parliament. The fact that he may be presiding over an unstable party has nothing to do with a perceived hidden hand. This whole accusation sounds quite paranoid, to be honest. Where is the evidence? He claimed the ban on CCC rallies was guided by law. On the banning of rallies, MOPA, Maintenance of Peace and Order Act, is very clear on what someone has to do if they want to convene a gathering. This is meant to keep the public safe. It's clear we have had some disturbances at rallies lately. A case in point is the stabbing of a man in Kwekwe last year and the serious injury to the public and property in Gokwe and Chivi. The police have a responsibility to safeguard life and property. The right to have a rally has no supremacy over the right to life and health. It doesn't matter how many times one applies to hold a meeting. If they don't provide all the necessary information, they will be turned down an equal number of times. The Jobs Sikala case is still before the courts and I believe the trial has kicked off. Only the courts have the mandate to pronounce that a charge is trumped up or not. Unless Mr. Chamisa has been quietly sworn in as a member of the bench, we on him to allow due process to take place without proffering a running commentary which can be interpreted as meddling in court cases. Shiramba confirmed in one of the local daily papers that Mnangagwa invited Chamisa for a state banquet when Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko visited Zimbabwe in January. According to Shiramba, Chamisa snubbed the invite. How do you at one level pretend to be wanting an audience with the president when you reject being with others? All opposition leaders were invited to that banquet in the spirit of national belonging, but he snubbed that invitation. So, why does he think that his letter must be embraced? Shiramba was quoted saying, Chamisa also said he would not fall into a ZANU-PF trap to unveil CCC structures, likening the upcoming election to a war with no room to reveal tactics. People ask about our plan. Who would go to Russia or Ukraine that are in war and ask Russia or Ukraine, "What's your plan against Ukraine?" It is a war situation. At times in war situations, you do not necessarily need to herald or address a press conference on what your move is. We will defeat all these oppressions. Chamisa is the CCC presidential candidate. His party is seeking 6 million votes to guarantee an outright victory. Mnangagwa is seeking 5 million votes. He will square off with Mnangagwa for the second round of balloting after narrowly losing to the ZANU-PF leader in the 2018 disputed polls.